filming on location those two satirical stalwarts, Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, in a new 20th Century Fox production directed by Stanley Donen called Bedazzled. Dudley does our interview.
Good afternoon. I'm speaking to you from the Gardening Centre, Zion House, Brentford, Middlesex, England. I should like to ask this gentleman a question or so. First of all, who are you?
My name is George Spigot.
George Spigot. What do you do?
I'm the devil, and I tempt people, mainly, during the daytime and during the night time.
I see. Are you the only devil? Do you have any other partners?
I've got a few hobgoblins, sprites, sort of minor evil bodies around the place, bad fairies, one kind or another. I think trolls, small trolls about that big, which jump around and throw spinach in people's eyes, but otherwise, very little. They're rather boring. I'm the main devil. I'm the most evil person in the world.
What are you, in fact, doing here at this very moment?
Being interviewed at the moment.
Being interviewed, yes, that's certainly true. But before you were being interviewed, was there anything you were up to at all?
I was preparing to be interviewed and getting myself in the frame of mind to talk.
Why did God cast you out of heaven?
Well, I'll show you. Now, look, imagine I'm God. This is my throne, all around me, cherubim, seraphim continually praising me, angels, archangels, that type of thing.
What sort of work are you involved in?
Mainly tempting people to do horrible things on the whole.
That is very interesting. What sort of tempting do you do? What sort of things do you do to tempt people?
Nasty things. For example, if I was tempting you, I'd probably size you up and see you being of a portly build. Forgive me saying that.
Of course not. How very nice.
Portly build. I'd come up to you with a cream bun and say, why don't you eat that? Thus, you see, tempting you to eat the bun and get fat and fall into the sin of gluttony. It's tremendous work.
And, obviously, it has a tremendous satisfaction for you. Do you
None
enjoy
at
it?
all. Absolutely none at all. No satisfaction. I've been tempting since way back. Eve was the first one I tempted. Slid down the tree. Remember that?
Eve slid down the tree.
Well, she did slide down the tree, but not on this particular day. It was one of her innocent pastimes before she fell. Because
Yes.
before the fall, she was always sliding down the trees, and after the fall, of course, she couldn't slide as well as she used to. But I slid down the tree on that day in serpent's guise. Lovely costume, scales, sort of courage feel about it, and gave her this apple. What God had said, don't eat this, please.
Yes.
Above all, do not eat this apple. So I come down and said, eat it.
And, of course, as we all know, she ate it, didn't she?
Yeah, terrific success.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful day for me.
Yes, of course.
Not
Wonderful.
much good for her, of course, being
No.
passed out with the two-sworded St. Michael come up and threw them out of the Garden of Eden.
Yes, of course. What, do you have any particular ambition, Mr. Spigot?
Yes, to give it all up and get a little garden and a house in the country, a little wife and two children playing in the sunlight, and have a wonderful life all to my own.
I see. It's interesting because I was preparing to interview you, and these two things are obviously closely connected. Me preparing to interview and you preparing to be interviewed. Do you see a connection here?
Well, this is like the whole pattern of the universe has been designed in this way. God, in his infinite mercy and holiness, has designed everything one way or the other, like black and white, night and day, life and death. There is a corollary between us all.
Yes. I see in the corner a certain figure eating eggs and other sundry groceries. Who is he?
That is Stanley Donen, famed director of fame directing fame.
I see. And have you been able to tempt him at all?
No,
or?
I haven't. No, I've never been able to tempt him. I think he's incorruptible, actually.
Really?
I've tried everything. Money, women, cloudbursts. Nothing's really worked.
No. Were you able to tempt him? Not at all,
No.
then? Oh, dear.
No, I think it's been a misunderstanding, you see, because... cut it. Oh,
Good evening. I see a certain arm winding up and a jet plane flying overhead. I think this is the signal for us to wind up.